Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fourth Down Focus Week 12 predictions. We're recording this straight after the last one. We're not scruffs and we just don't change our clothes. We're doing it all in one. It's currently 11:15 here in the UK, and I'm tired and I can't be asked
I've,
doing this.
I've got to
So
be up at 5:45, so
we're gonna
no,
try.
quarter to seven. Sorry, 7:15.
We're gonna try and fly through this one. See how long that takes us. Like the video, subscribe to us, press the hype button, and let's get on with it.
I'm not convinced that exists.
It does exist, I promise. Go on with the predictions. Oh, just remember what first thing I thought, but who fucking cares?
Right. What I will say is you've been nagging me for it. So the first slide here is a prediction standings slide.
Oh!
You've wanted it.
I
From
know
last
I'm in the
year.
lead.
This is the last time that you will see this, by the way, because it will be a secret now to the end of the year to sort of make it a bit fun.
Unless
But
James starts winning and he'll brag about it every
no, mate, wait till you see this slide. Just for context, we're on week 12. In week 9, I was winning or joint winning with Kian, or week 8, I think it was.
I
So
like
a few
where
weeks
this is going. I like
just bear that in mind. Me and Kian were drawing 3 weeks ago. What happened?
James, what happened there?
So yeah, I got 97 points so far. Basically, it's just 1 point if you get it right and 0 if you get it wrong. Kian's got 104, and Max is 1 point behind me on 96. Yeah, it's interesting. I got 6 in week 9, I believe, or week 10. I got 6.
I've been getting 8 and 9 for the past month and a half. So I've just
This is what I get for trying to create content, honestly.
If I'd have bet on my 6 o'clock ones last week, I would have won some money. That's all I'll say.
The only week I didn't do that, it would have paid.
But yeah, I've had a fucking disaster, to put it politely, in the last 3 weeks. I was doing absolutely fine, and I've just collapsed. So Kian's more or less a week ahead of me and Max now. So it was a monumental bottle job.
I promise you I can bottle this.
But yeah, there's your standings. Max wanted them, I think, for a couple of weeks. So there it is. And you will now not see this.
I thought I was going to be second with the way you were going on about this. I thought
you were. There was a point in time where you were, I think, and then this week I got one more right than you, and then it sort of saved it. But just a fucking tragedy, to put it lightly. But we'll get.
I just want to beat you, so that's fine.
Yeah, I think we're just battling for third, yeah, second and third. So yeah,
you have met me. I'm quite prone to fumble in these sort of situations.
You are, to be fair.
Well,
but we'll get into the predictions, and we'll start with this.
That's not the first game.
That's not the game.
Oh, have I missed one? The slides have gone wrong. Oh no.
I tell you, I'm really looking forward to this Thursday night football game so much that it's not even the fucking game.
Sorry, it was I don't know why the slide's not there. It was in the PowerPoint. It's just gone wrong. The Texans versus the Bills are the first game, so I'll go back to this slide for a sec. Texans versus the Bills.
Sorry, James, I don't remember back in 104.
The issue is, I believe one of you went edgy on this one.
Me. I went Texans.
Yeah, Max went Texans, which really pissed me off because I had to change the graphic after I'd already made it all Bills.
Good. Welsh boy.
So I'll let Max start, as he predicted the Texans to beat the Bills.
Well, I've gone with 96 here. I think they're on a good run. No, I've gone with the Texans just as a wacky prediction. I might have gone with a couple that are a bit out there this week, which is, looking at these scores, probably not what I should be doing. But I like to live life on the wild side. So, yeah, Texans for me. And there's not much thought to it. It's just a bit of a rogue prediction.
Kian?
I just think the Bills are slightly more like the Bills we know they are, based after last week. I know we've already said that this year a couple of times, but I can't see a way they lose to the Texans, who have just struggled to beat the Tennessee Titans. So, yeah, it's Bills.
Yeah, similar reasoning for me. I don't know if CJ Stroud's back yet. I don't
think it matters.
Yeah, it will not change my prediction either way. I'm still predicting the Bills, but Texans. It looked like the Texans at one point would have been better off just leaving CJ out for the rest of the year anyway, because Davis Mills actually playing all right till last week. But yeah, just this Texans are bad. I back them in games where it's like evenly matched or a bit more in their favor because the defense is actually really good. I don't think the Bills will have that many points because the Texans. I can't remember a game this season where the Texans have given up a lot of points if they have at all. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think they've done many. They had many bad games this year. So yeah, I'm going with the Bills. Pretty straightforward one for me. Next up to this game, which was right. Just somehow one of the slides disappeared. So that was really worth my time making, wasn't it? The Ravens versus the Jets, and it is a sweep in favour of the Ravens, which I think surprises absolutely fucking nobody.
What a shit game. Genuinely, what this is going to show up on Red Zone maybe once. The Jets are bad. The Ravens are getting back to their best. Yeah, I don't really see any other way this game can go, to be honest.
We can say the Ravens are getting back to their best, but they struggled against the Browns. It took a trick play from Mark Andrews in a wildcat snap where he got 30-plus yard rushing touchdown to beat us. Which
nobody let the Eagles see that.
Who's gonna defend?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because that play was fucking brilliant. But yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. It's pretty self-explanatory. The Jets are the Jets, and albeit with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, does it change anything? It probably makes them worse because they don't even have the rushing upside of Justin Fields.
The Rod can run a little bit.
Huh? The
Rod can run a little bit.
Compared to Justin Fields.
I can run a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you?
Sometimes. if there's a nice green man driving off.
I've seen you do it, actually.
But yeah, as much as the Jets haven't been that bad in their last 3 games, they're not going to win this game because, as I've said many times, with the Ravens, they have to keep winning to give them their best chance of winning. Not saying they have to do a lot to win this division because the Steelers are fucking shit, and just the less said about the Bengals and the fucking Browns the better. But just overall, a tragic division, a tragic game, and just yeah. Unless anyone else has anything to add to this,
no, not really.
We'll move on to. Speaking of tragic, the Giants versus the Lions. I'm not starting. Someone else can. I refuse to talk about this organization in detail anymore.
Lions by $1 trillion.
There's not really much else to say about that. The Giants have been terrible since they lost a lot of their top players. The Lions need to win this because the Bears are now top of that division, which I feel like has slipped under the radar a little bit. No one predicted that at the start of the year. The Lions need to prove that they are still a decent team. I realise doing that against the Giants doesn't do that, but it's a good start. So Lions.
I was going to say it does not prove anything in terms of the division to beat us realistically. Yeah, this organisation just gives me terminal depression year upon year. Just there's no way we win this game. Like the other games, it's sort of been like maybe. This game, just no, just absolutely not. We will not have a chance.
Welcome to my
with how good with how good their offense is. I am scared for how many points it's going to end up being because our defense, especially as I've said many times, Jameson Williams against our secondary is going to be a field day. Thank fuck he's on my fantasy team, but not someone else's, because he's going to have an absolute field day with our secondary.
I mean, the most exciting thing about the Giants right now was sitting in Madison Square Garden getting into a fight at WWE Monday Night Raw alongside Andrew Schultz the other night. So that's how your season's going. Cam
also, Abdul Carter sat out a drive in our last game because he fell asleep in a Shane Bowen walkthrough. Supposedly, he claims he was getting treatment, but apparently
it's not the first time he's done it this year either. But
yeah,
they won't let him off.
100%. Joe Schoen's account is on Twitter, by the way, because there's that fucking burner account that keeps tweeting stuff that is actually true. It's definitely him because all he tweets about is negative stuff about Dayball and fucking thingy. So it's definitely like his son or something who's on a burner because he's got everything right. He said that players are falling asleep during walkthroughs, and then it comes out that Abdul Carter fell asleep. As I said, and many Giants fans said, I would also fall asleep through a Shane Bowen fucking defensive walkthrough, so I don't blame him. He's better off sleeping because if he just does whatever the fuck he wants, he'd be better off than whatever Shane Bowen's going to tell him to do. So yeah, we're just a bit of a fucking mess, to be honest. I just can't wait just to get this season over and done with and get me to next year. Kian?
Oh, I've already said it, mate.
Yeah.
I've already said everything.
I've already said everything I have to say. Lions by $1 trillion, and I enjoyed Cam Scatterbo on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
We've got a player who's on one leg fighting fucking WWE fighters. Players falling. Our third overall draft pick falling asleep, and the other one's got his head mashed in too many times that he can't even.
I would like to see Cam Scarborough versus Dominic Mysterio in a ladder match. That's all I've got to say about the Giants right now.
Moving on swiftly from this shit show to another shit show, the Cincinnati Bengals. And yeah, a lot of these games are just fairly self-explanatory.
It's a pretty shit week. Having looked through it for the predictions, it's a pretty shit week. The Bengals are just funny to laugh at this point. They're really bad. And Jamar Chase is, once again, as I've already said, a cunt, and he won't be playing in this game. And they lose what has been, not this season, but is probably their best player. So I don't see them winning this game. The Patriots have been really good, and this Bengals defense, I won't say what I said DK Metcalf was going to do to it, but Henderson and any of the other people on that Patriots offense could do that to them. If anyone managed to infer what I said last week. So yeah, give me the Patriot.
Travion Henderson's going to get me even more fantasy points this week. That's my prediction for this. I think he got 34 last week. So
32.
32. Okay, I reckon we hit 38 this week. I reckon he gets an extra touchdown. Yeah, Drake May is going to destroy this defense. Destroy is a nice word to say, Kian, in that scenario. Don't have to bleep that one or whatever the fuck that sound was. It wasn't a bleep, but there was a sound in there.
I just wanted to slip up again, so you have to do it again just for my own entertainment.
I won't do it. I simply won't do it. I'll just put it out. Yeah, Pats by 1 trillion again. I don't know.
Yeah. To be fair, I disagree with Travion because they're probably going to throw the ball 24/7 with how bad this Bengals secondary is. But just yeah, Bengals bad, Patriots good. That's pretty much all you have to say about this team this year. It's just a fucking tragedy. So there's been times where you see sort of flashes from the Bengals, but they're not beating the Patriots, obviously. But then again, there is always that one stupid team that wins every week. So lo and behold, it'll probably be this after we've all written them off entirely.
They won't win this game. I will put my neck on the line. They will not win this game.
I thought you were going to bet something.
I really did, but then I realised I'm a bit skint.
You're a bit scared of this NFL season. There's been nothing short of weird. So don't write it off, but it's like 99.9 to 0.1% chance, really, of the Bengals winning this game. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, Patriots will win this game easily. I would be very surprised if this isn't a very, very comfortable win for them. Finally, a bit of differential and a bit of a decent game. The Chiefs versus the Colts, and Kian has gone different and gone with the Colts.
Anyone who can lose to that Broncos team can lose to the Indianapolis
Colts. Fucking NFL's lost to that Broncos
team. Exactly. I don't know how. But yeah, I didn't want to back Kansas City, and as much as I wanted them to win last week, it's funny to see their dynasty dying in front of our eyes. And I think it'd be even funnier to see Daniel Jones tearing apart this dynasty in front of our eyes. Coming off a bye, obviously, they're well rested. We'll see how it affects them. Could be a case they come back and they completely fall off. Highly doubt that. I think they'll win this game. The Chiefs just have not been the same team. They've shown flashes, a bit like how the Lions have done. Shown flashes, but they've never really lived up to what we know of the Chiefs. And I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of a passing of the torch moment. Not forever, obviously. This Colts team is not going to be this good next year. But I think they'll win this game.
Max?
Oh, me? Yeah. I feel like, as Kian said, we're kind of watching the dynasty crumble in front of our eyes, but I'm still convinced that they somehow sneak into the playoffs. And at this point, they're going to have to win out to do that. So I feel like, they're at Arrowhead. That crowd has come to expect glory at this point from this team. They're probably going to get on their backs a bit, and I think they're going to sneak out of Arrowhead with the win in this one. I was very torn on this one. It's probably the toughest one I had to predict, which on paper is weird because the Colts have been much better, but it is just the Chiefs. So I regretted picking them last week, but I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, same. I also regretted picking them last week, but if I watch Daniel Jones tear apart the Chiefs organization, I may kill myself, just to put it politely. But at least people have... I saw that, you little cunt. At least people have realised this team is successful because of the running back, not the quarterbacks. That's fine. I don't know. As Max said, it was one of the toughest ones. It's hard to ever back against the Chiefs, but again, is it anymore with how their season's gone? You can never write them off, but I'm going with them because I think as coming off a bye for the Colts, you can look at it one of two ways. Either you look at them, they're fresh having a week's rest, or they're a week of not playing a game, so they'll be not as sharp as they might have been had they played last week. So it's weighing up the sort of benefits and the negatives to it. But I'm going with the Chiefs. I just think when it boils down to pure quality, there's points of this Chiefs team and like just the way that they graft out games and get to the playoffs, as Max said, every year. Even like last year when they weren't particularly good and they still did as what they did. Like, I would not be surprised if they make the playoffs. And as Max said, for them to get to the playoffs, they need to pretty much win out. So I'm going to say that they're going to do that this week. And fingers crossed they do. And this starts the collapse of the Colts. I am praying, please. Next up, the Packers versus the Vikings. And I am not making the same mistake that I've made every fucking week. I'm predicting the Vikings. They can fuck off. I've given up.
I'm not overly impressed with the Packers, but I just can't back JJ McCarthy.
That's pretty much my
That's
entire
literally my entire reasoning about this is I cannot back Mr. 9. I just can't do it. He's just not very good, and I think he will probably be the downfall in this game. So yeah, give me the Packers, but I'm not impressed by them at all, to be honest.
If you're Justin Jefferson this season, surely you're fuming. Like
you didn't bring that up in the one thing we learned video actually, but he was throwing his helmet about the
Yeah.
place than one of their drives.
Exactly, he's got to be livid at this point, and he's the one who outed the alter ego thing. He's the one who said it to the press, so maybe he actually like does hate JJ McCarthy. He's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make everyone hate you. I think that's what's actually happened here. Kind of like Kian said, the Packers haven't been that impressive. This is a team that lost to Cleveland, but also the Vikings haven't impressed me once this year, apart from that fourth quarter against the Bears very early on. So that was like, what was that, week 1?
Week 1, yeah.
Yeah, so they've not impressed me in the past 11 weeks. So give me the Packers. Micah Parsons is going to hopefully eat 9 alive.
Yeah, Keane sort of summed up my thought process, but I was going to pick the Vikings, and then I looked at all my predictions from the last couple of weeks and realised they're always my problem, and JJ McCarthy exists, so I just can't do it. As I said, I watched us play the Packers last week. They aren't great. Like, they're not doing anything in the postseason at all. They're nowhere near the level. I still, as I said, many weeks, Jordan Love is not that guy. He's not a long-term competing quarterback option, in my opinion, as Malik Willis looked more dangerous with 2 passes with a touchdown than he did all game against us. So, yeah, just if it was anyone else bar the Vikings in that sort of similar level of like 5-win teams, I would have backed the other team. But because it's JJ McCarthy and because I am always wrong when you two back against the Vikings and I don't, I'm not doing it this week. If we all get it wrong, then we all get it wrong. I'm not going to be angry, but I just rather that than me be the only one who gets this wrong, as it tends to be every week with the Vikings. Next, fucking hell.
I thought someone would have taken Pittsburgh here. Obviously,
I did, and I changed it, and I'm still not sure.
I was going to take them. I'm always going to take the beloved Bears over that horrible, horrible franchise in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, bear down.
The division topping Chicago Bears, I believe, is what we're supposed to be calling them now.
They are. Point this out last week.
They are in fact top of their division. And I think they'll win this game. Genuinely, I do. I was very close to picking the Steelers, but I think the Bears they seem to be grinding wins out. And I think this is a team that they can almost bring down to their level. A little bit like the Broncos are doing, like just bringing teams down to their level and playing a pretty shit game. But it could be another shit game, but I think it's going to be one they'll come out with a win. Will that be 8 wins for the Bears if they win this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane, especially when you look at what they were doing last year. And it's coming up to Thanksgiving, which is the memory of the Eberflus, where he didn't take the time out. I forget who they were playing. But I think
what a throwback.
That sort of rejuvenated this whole thing. Obviously bringing in Ben Johnson and that. So I'm impressed with the Bears. So give me the Bears.
I actually, as a non-American, love Thanksgiving just because of the amount of NFL football we get on Thanksgiving. So
I'm thankful for the NFL.
I might get a turkey in this year, honestly.
I ain't gonna go that up, Mark. I might get some turkey.
You afford that?
No, but I'll make one from Tesco.
So-
No,
Dinosaurs,
get the
mate.
turkey like slices for like £1 from Tesco.
Good shout. I like that. That's better. Yeah. I don't even like
Get a
turkey.
sandwich or something.
I
I was gonna say how are the Bears 7-3, but I've just looked at who they've beaten and I've realised quickly how they're 7-3 because fuck me, it's bad. Cowboys, Raiders, Commanders, Saints, Bengals, Giants, Vikings.
There's not many good teams in there, is there?
I mean, if you want a team that's like, how have they got that many wins? That is exactly how they've got that many wins because they haven't beaten anyone good yet. This is why I'm sort of tempted with Steelers. Not saying the Steelers are good, but they're not as shit as them. I'm still tempted to flip this. I don't know. Like, if you go off last week with the Steelers, they were good, but obviously you got to take it with a pinch of salt based on the opposition. They got battered by the Chargers, who were shit this week as well. But the NFL is just so topsy-turvy. What I will say is, I think if they lose this game, they don't make the playoffs, the Bears, because their schedule is disgusting. After the Steelers, they go Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers, Lions. That is horrendous.
I think they can win. Have they got the Packers twice in there?
Yeah.
They could win 3 of those, which would make them.
It's a tough run, so they need to win these games now, which is why I'm sort of tempted to stick with the Bears. Yeah, do you know what? Fuck it. I've been different on a couple of other picks later in the video, so I'll leave this one. But I am again. This is where I don't flip, and I'm always wrong, as it happened last week again. By not flipping, and it's always wrong. But I'm going to play the safe option with how far behind I fall and keep behind Kian in predictions, and stick with the Bears. But I'm not sold. They're not great, but neither are the Steelers. So I think it'll be a big game for Roma Dunze because the Steelers' pass defense, as I mentioned in one thing we learned, is crap. So
we finally, speaking of the Steelers quickly, we finally put to bed the debate that TJ Watt was ever on the level of Myles Garrett. Can we just stop that now, please, people? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
I mean, I think it was fair for a point in time, but not anymore.
No, he's nowhere near Myles Garrett. Can't even listen.
Next up.
Well, this is just a non-factor. There's
nothing to say.
This game, I know we've said many of a week that there's been easy predictions. This is the easiest prediction we will ever make on this podcast, in my opinion. Which definitely means the Titans will win.
Jackson Smith and Jigba 250 receiving yards in this game and 3 touchdowns. That's my prediction for the game.
My thing is, if you look at the Titans stats again, as defensive stats, it's not actually awful. They're average in everything. It's just the offense is terrible. Defensively, they're not actually that tragic, but yeah, just this is a non-factor game. If the Seahawks don't win this game, they don't deserve to even be in the playoffs, in my opinion.
They don't deserve to be a franchise in this league anymore.
Yeah, just kick them out of the NFL if they lose this game because it's fucking insane if they do. I really don't have much to say about this.
It's very nice of Roger Goodell to give the Seahawks a second bye week. That's what I think.
The Titans did something in the week where they posted a picture of their stands. It was an immersive thing. You can go in it and you try and find yourself. But it's actually easier to find empty seats. And that's just embarrassing. There's nothing else to say. That was the best thing they did all week.
Yeah, I guess we'll just move on to, I think I know what's coming next, and I'm going to take a sit back.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Right.
I nearly did the same thing.
I will explain my reasoning.
Please.
First of all, if I didn't do this, I would have the most boring predictions ever. I don't give a shit. I'm going to lose anyway, so I might as well just try and be fun. Also, I do kind of see a world where it happens because the Browns' offense is shit. So the Raiders' defense doesn't need to be good because the Browns just beat themselves on offense anyway.
This is a 50-50 game.
Yeah, I think, Kit, this is a lot closer than... I know you're in the pits.
I'll give you my reasonings. This is not even close.
But for me, I think a lot of people have struggled. I think a lot of people struggle with this one. I struggle as well. I flip-flop between this one quite a bit. But I thought because you two went Browns, I'll be a bit different. But just the Browns' offense beat themselves. So therefore, the Raiders' defense doesn't have to be great to do anything when they're playing against Shadur Sanders. Let's be real.
The only thing we have better than the Raiders is defense.
Yeah, which was my concern because obviously we've watched Geno Smith this year. We've watched that whole offense this year. It's been crap. However, there's been signs of life at times in certain games, like the Jags game, for example, where they played a team that's in pretty good standing and they lose barely in that game. And I think if the Raiders play to any sort of that level, this Browns defense will eventually cave. and they will get points on the board. I think this could be an
It's not
absolute.
it's not even a fact of the defense caving. It's just how often they have to be on the field.
Yeah,
Eventually,
this is what I think. I think the Raiders will just be on the field so much that eventually they will make a play happen.
Yeah, I've gone with the Browns because I think we could get a couple pick sixes and they'll win us the game. Apart from that, I haven't got much hope. Shadur might throw one touchdown to Harold Fanning, I don't know. Or maybe Quinchon will get one, which will be nice for fantasy. But I don't see this isn't going to be a good game. This isn't going to be entertaining unless you like bad football and Miles Garrett. So yeah.
There is not. I genuinely, I know obviously I just don't like my own team. I don't see a world we win this game, and let me tell you why. Brennan Carroll's O line is going to get. Okay, I won't say a word. It's going to get destroyed by Miles Garrett and co. Like genuinely, we're not going to be able to get anything going. When Geno Smith is rushed, that's when he throws all his picks. So he might actually throw like an NFL record amount of picks. The offense is pony. The defense is just as bad. It's a perfect game for a rookie quarterback to make his first start in. Must feel like he's got a point to prove, as we passed up on him in 4 rounds after we interviewed him and put him through practices and stuff. So I genuinely do believe we'll lose this game. I struggle to see a way we win another game this year. And it's mainly just down to the O-line. That O-line's so bad, and the Browns' defense is good enough to just make us look stupid.
Our O-line is also one of the worst in the NFL.
We have no one that can rush it.
You have Max Crosby, mate.
Apart from Max Crosby.
You don't need anyone else. The Browns don't have anyone else who can rush.
We're pony. I don't see a way that we win this game.
We probably won't have our starting right tackle Jack Conklin again because he spends more time injured than he does playing, and that's.
Can I just say, it sums up this game perfectly that you are arguing that the other team has a chance to win. Like, you're arguing against your own team when you know it's bad.
I'm not. This is probably going to be the last time this year I back us, to be honest. So,
yeah. This will be the only time this year I back the Raiders to win a game of football, bar when they play the Giants.
Glad it's not a Browns sweep, because last time there was a Browns sweep, the Browns won. The Browns lost, sorry. And I need the Cleveland Browns to win this game. Because we need
whoever wins is going to fuck themselves over realistically.
Exactly. I'm praying.
I don't really want to win that much, but I will celebrate.
Even if you want to win,
I will celebrate with you.
The last time we played, the Raiders won, so Kean got the bragging rights just between us two. But
the bragging rights here is whoever loses.
Yeah, but
it's the first time. I believe this is one of the first times. Did you two play last season?
Yes, we did. Yeah, but it was early in the season.
It's a rare occasion we get a 4th down focus in a podcast game, and neither of you want to win anyway.
I hope we get the Browns. Come on,
and it will stay the same when we have Raiders Giants, and me and Keane will also both want to lose.
I hope we get smashed.
I've got 2 first-round picks. So I don't care if we win a couple more games. I will take the wins and the temporary happiness to move up the board a little bit. I don't mind. We've got to, we normally
that is why you would never have. Then again, if you draft a quarterback, they're going to be shit anyway, so it doesn't really
exactly. So I'm not that bothered. Just get me someone on our line, get us another receiver, get Carnell Tate, get John Tyson, Mackay Lemon. Get me any of those 3 receivers, anyone on our line. I'm not that bothered about a quarterback. We'll just keep rocking with Shadur or just bell up James.
You are definitely taking a quarterback on if Shadur is as shit as he was in his first game.
We might take one in the 2nd round. We might take like a Nussmeier or a Drew Aller later down the board.
Whatever team drafts Drew Aller, by the way, I will say this now. Whatever team drafts Drew Aller will get the best quarterback in this class.
Don't bother with
Drew Aller wanted to be in Cleveland when he was supposed to be in the draft last year. So.
If you get Drew Aller, it will in like the later rounds. It will be one of the best picks you make in a while.
If you get Garrett Nussmeier, I'm sorry.
If you Garrett Nussmeier, then it's your own fucking fault for picking him.
He's shy.
We'll move on to the Cardinals versus the Jags. And if this was anyone else bar the Cardinals, you probably
I don't know. The Cardinals could sneak this one, you know.
I don't know. I've been like back and forth, which may sound mental because if you've watched the Cardinals in the last like however many weeks, I mean, this is a team that lost to the Tennessee Titans and are the only team in the league to lose to the Tennessee Titans.
In a great game.
In the funniest fashion ever. As far as offensively, the Cardinals haven't been bad, I think it's fair to say, since Jacoby came. I mean, they literally just broke an NFL record. And, you know, the stats offensively are okay. And the Jags defense is shit, which is why I'm sort of tempted to go the other way here. But I've gone edgy already, and I'm going to continue to be edgy later on. So I don't know. I'll let you two go through yours, and I might.
I'm half tempted to switch, which is not something I ever do.
I was going to say you
And I
never.
don't want my first ever switch to be to the
You
Cardinals.
got to do it at some point.
I feel like there's better games I could do that in. I'm gonna stick with the Jags because I think I'll look silly, and if the Cardinals win, at least we all lose the point, so I'm good. But the Cardinals could shock us here. Just Trey McBride alone is probably good enough to run through this Jags defense. So I'll stick with the Jags. Travis
was-
3 touchdowns.
I was genuinely really impressed with the Jags against the Chargers, and I think they'll just continue that. They need to win games to get into the playoffs, so I think this will be one that they win. There's not much else to say. I'm not a big fan of the Cardinals. They've not been great.
Well, I mean, the Jags have a bye next week. They're not on a bye; they're just playing the Titans. So,
Not fair.
But my reason is right. You're looking at a Jags team that let up 36 points to the Davis Mills Houston Texans and 29 points to the Geno Smith Las Vegas Raiders. So when you put it like that, albeit they limited the Justin Herbert Los Angeles Chargers to 6, but again, that was one of the worst performances we've seen from the Chargers in a very long time. I'm so tempted to flip. I feel like, Max, if you'd done it, I would have joined you, but
Well, now I don't want to do it.
I feel like I can't do it because Keane's just going to fucking get even further ahead and it's just going to be a mess. So I will leave it, but I'm going to be really annoyed if this does end the way I think it will because
I'm not, because we've all gone Jags, so it makes
true.
sense.
It's annoyed at myself that I don't flip because every time I've done this and I've not flipped, I've been wrong to not flip. I mean, I've said it. I think every episode I do it. Every episode I say I think they could win. I'll stick with my answer, but I'm fairly sure they should win, and then I don't back. Yeah, just a nightmare. So
Cardinals defense is pretty bad. This could be a good game for Brian Thomas to make a nice comeback. Jacoby Myers looks good. Parker Washington's a pretty capable receiver. Travis Etienne's good. Bashal Tutin's good. As long as Trevor Lawrence doesn't turn into a pumpkin, then we're good.
I'm gonna stick with the Jags, which definitely means we're all wrong because the Cardinals will win. Now I've done that. We'll move on to the Cowboys versus the Eagles in NFC East matchup. Again, this felt pretty straightforward. At least it did for me. Because if you've watched the Cowboys play, especially on the defensive side of the ball, bar the Raiders, which doesn't count anyway, they've been dog shit. So was pretty straightforward for me. But anyone else had any?
There's a lot of Cowboys fans getting carried away because they beat the Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to get brought back down to earth here. As much as I don't think the Eagles have been that good this year, I think they're just a better team than the Cowboys. And I think that'll continue. Their defense is not good at all. So give me the Eagles.
Eagles by a field goal. And that's not trying to hype up the Cowboys too much. The Eagles are just boring as fuck. So they're probably not going to put a lot of points on the board, leave it late, and they'll probably not a walk-off field goal, but a field goal in the fourth to win it is my specific prediction. The Cowboys aren't great, but the Eagles aren't that good. They just find a way to win because they're a championship level team. That's what they do. And they'll probably continue to do that. So I'll go with the Eagles, but I think it'll be closer than we think.
My sort of logic is this Cowboys defense is crap, and offensively, if the Eagles just cover George Pickens all the time, they will always stuff the run, so they're fucked. Because CeeDee Lamb's been meh for his standards this year. I mean, he's not even the best receiver in his own team, so that sort of says a lot about the season.
For a few games.
I know, but even still, in the games he's played, George Pickens has looked better and is getting targeted more, which sort of says a lot, really. But yeah, I can't see why the Eagles don't win this game. The Cowboys are crap. They beat a Raiders team, which is basically another bye. So, you got to take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, for me, it was a pretty straightforward Eagles pick. I don't think it'll be close, like Max said, because that Cowboys defense is shit. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Give me the Eagles. Next.
Why?
Do you know what? I nearly did the same thing again.
Right. Let me just talk. Right. Michael Penix out for the year. Drake London out. there goes your main hopes of winning football games. There,
Penix.
Bijan Robinson
head
is
to Kirk Cousins. Yes. You said Bijan is. They're going to just run on Bijan this entire game, but the Saints' run defense isn't that bad. So if they can just limit him,
capable receiver.
like unless we get a big step from Darnell Mooney in this game, I really do see a world where the Saints. Tyler Shuck has been all right. He's not been that bad. And
this is
what?
Kyle Pitts breakout game.
Oh, fuck me.
I fucking hope so, mate, because he's stuck on my fantasy roster now and I don't even want him.
He's been passed around like a Holbeck slut this season.
He's been on 5 different rosters.
In an 8-man league.
He's been passed
I'm no stuck with him because obviously no one's going to trade with me for Kyle Pitts. Yeah, just Tyler Shuck's been okay. Their run defense is good, so if they can limit Bijan, then... Or Bijan, apparently we've all said it wrong.
I wouldn't say it's good. It's the 21st best in the NFL.
Yeah, I said it's okay.
Okay, fair. I thought you said good.
Like it's not tragic. Especially for a team where they are, like it's not as bad as you may think it is.
Yeah, but an okay at best run defense against an elite running back like Bijan Robinson with a very capable backup in Tyler Algier on the goal line. I don't think it holds up.
The only way the Saints win is if they can shut down Bijan to an extent, or basically Kirk doesn't throw the ball, because when he does, we've sort of seen what happens. So I'm going with the Saints. I'm going to be a bit different. I just think there's a Falcons team in disarray at the minute with how everything's going at that organization. They just lose 2 of their most important offensive players. So I think they're going to struggle big time. And that is why I'm going to go with the Saints.
I think they're probably good enough defensively to shut down anything that the Saints can throw at them, to be honest. So that's why I'll stick with the Falcons. But I was tempted to go with the Saints to switch up a bit, but I won't.
I struggle to back the Saints.
I mean, this Saints offense beat the Panthers, which the Falcons haven't been able to do for a while.
I still struggle to see where they win the game. I'm not big on the Saints at all, obviously. And I think the Falcons are on a bit of a losing streak, aren't they, I believe?
5 games on the spin.
Yeah, they're going to want to win. So I feel like it's a big one to potentially do that in. So just go Falcons. It's not going to be a good game, though.
It's all right. If they don't win this week, they got the Jets next week, so they'll definitely win that.
How fair.
But, yeah, I mean, the Panthers put 30 points on this Falcons team twice. The Saints limited them to 7.
See, so, I can't factor the Panthers into any sort of analysis. What are the Panthers?
I don't know. I have a weird feeling that this is going to be one of them games where a team in a bit of disarray obviously lost 5. I'm not saying the Saints aren't in disarray, by the way, but the expectation is very much off the Saints to do anything, whereas the Falcons, you still have them sort of star players, and you expect a bit of, 5. But the Saints coming off that win against the Panthers, I believe they're on bye this week, just gone. So, they go win into a bye to sort of freshen up and look back at it. Tyler Shuck's been okay, so I'm just going to maybe a bit of an upset on the cards, and I'm going to go with the Saints. So win. Next up, game of the week has to be said because there's no other good games this week. This will be game of the week. This will be the interesting game. The Rams versus the Bucks, and a bit of differential. Kean's gone Bucks, whereas me and Max have stayed with the Rams. Well, I suppose Max, you backed the Bucks in their last big game, didn't you? And it didn't go well, so I'm assuming that's why you've not done it again.
Never back against Baker. Unless I have to, in which case I will. I'm not a loyal man. I'm not sticking with Baker through this one. The Rams look ridiculous, and I think they'll continue to be ridiculous until the NFC Championship game minimum. So, yeah, it's a tough break for Baker and the boys. I'm still not sure if Bucky Irvin's back. Probably not. I've read that he's getting an increase in reps in practice to see if he can handle the game, which is... as someone who drafted Bucky Irvin, painful. But
he's in more pain, to be fair.
I know. I think I am. I bet he's not had a cold for the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to stick with the Rams here. I think I just don't think they have enough. The Buccaneers. I don't think they'll be able to stay in it. They'll probably be able to keep it close for a half maybe, and I think the Rams will just run away with it. Devante Adams is having one of the best years he's had in a long time. Puka Nakua is Puka Nakua. Karen Williams is always a threat, and Stafford is slinging it at the age of 64. So yeah, I'll take the Rams.
Good.
I don't disagree about anything said about the Rams. They are a unbelievable team, but I feel like I've seen enough from the Bucks that they can hang around in these games. They put up 32 points last week, albeit against a pretty poor Bills defense. But barring Josh Allen just exploding like he did, they could have won that game very easily. And it's a big game, so it's nothing to do with the big occasion. They can stick around in them games, and I think they'll put up a fight in this game. It's a bit of a me trying to pull away. I'll just make a pick and hope, but I don't think it's outrageous to say they'll win this game.
It's definitely not outrageous. Like, I don't. If anyone would say you bet the Bucks, you'd be like, yeah, fair enough. You know, my logic is this Rams defense is arguably the best unit in the entire NFL, and the Bucks' main way of being in them games within big teams has been scoring shitloads of points, and they give up a lot of points in these big games, as we saw with the Bills literally last week, giving up 44. So based on that, just Rams are basically my team for the rest of the season, to be honest, because it's not going to be the Giants anymore. So this is the team that I want to win because I backed them for the entire year. So I sort of want to just sit on it now and back them the whole way. So I will be a Rams fan for the foreseeable future. Just funny.
Well, I'm claiming the Patriots.
I will. Yeah, I think we're allowed to because we both called their success before the season even started.
I mean, so, give me a Rams Patriots Super Bowl rematch, but just make it 10 times better.
Oh, don't.
It's not going to be as bad as the last one. I don't know if it can physically.
The fucking PTSD. Please don't.
That was a bad one.
It was a bad one. But yeah, just the Bucks' ability to hang around the games has relied on them scoring a lot of points, and we saw last week what that Rams defense can do to a team. You know, in their worst game in a while, they beat one of the best teams in the NFL because they had 4 or 5 takeaways in the game. So that is sort of my reasoning as to back. I mean, I'm pretty much not going to go against the Rams for the rest of this year, to be honest. They're just that good. It's a ridiculously good team. That's destined for, as Keane said, at least the NFC Championship game, in my opinion. So I am going to stick with the Rams. We will move on to the last game.
Worst. How is this a primetime game?
The last game of the week. And as Keane said, why is it on primetime? I thought we flexed games out for this specific reason, to not watch games like this on primetime football. But nonetheless, it is the 49ers versus the Panthers. Then again, I will say the slate of games isn't exactly excellent to put anything else in this place.
No, true, but
at least Sunday night football's good.
Yeah, there isn't many options. But yeah, the 49ers versus the Panthers. Does anyone want to start?
I'll go first. The only reason I've gone for the Niners is because Max has already said it in this episode. What are the Panthers? You can't back the Panthers because you don't know which one's going to turn up. If last week's turn up, they'll give them a game. If the weeks before turned up, they'll get trounced. It's just, I can't back them because they're just so inconsistent. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they went and won this game. But at the same time, I also wouldn't be shocked if they got absolutely smashed. So just give me the Niners for more of a safety pick.
Yeah, I'm not going to back the Panthers for very similar reasons. I don't think Bryce Young will shine as bright under these primetime lights per se. So I think I'll take the 49ers in the Christian McCaffrey revenge game. He'll probably get 4 touchdowns as well. So yeah.
Yeah, as you both sort of said, you just can't predict the Panthers because you don't know what Panthers team is going to turn up. And this is another case of that because, as Kian said, if it was last week's Panthers, then yeah, I'd probably back them to give this pretty average 49ers team a game. But it's not. It's probably not going to be. They're probably going to be shit. And I said I can't remember the last time the Panthers were good for 2 games, like really good 2 games in a row. And this Niners team will score points. We saw it. One of the best players in the league, and Christian McCaffrey. They have George Kittle back from injury, who's probably one of the best tight ends in the league, bar maybe Trey McBride at the minute.
And how Manning?
He's not even the best tight end on your own team, mate.
Njoku's not been that good this year.
But yeah, I'm as Kian said, safety. I could go Panthers here and be edgy, but I've already done a couple of them, so I'll leave this one as a safety pick. But as Kian said, I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game because this Niners team has proven to be very beatable this year. But I don't think that the Panthers are going to be that team this week, especially not with how good Bryce was, or if he has that good of a game pretty much for the rest of the year. So I'm going with the 49ers. But that is all we have from our predictions. And as always, I believe our newly appointed question master has got a question for us.
I think I actually touted him the question goblin the other week, or Greg.
Yeah, it was the question goblin, yeah.
It's actually quite a strict job because I'd quite like to answer the questions as well. But this week we're changing it up. I'm going to give them a player pathway, so who a player's played for, and the position as well. I'll be asking you the position, and you're going to have to
Now,
guess.
can you do the teams and then
Okay, if you can't
we
get
can't
it,
work it out, then yeah.
I've got two. So
Okay.
the first one is the St. Louis Rams, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Minnesota Cardinals, and the Arizona Cardinals. No, the Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Cardinals.
It's fucking half, and it's 11:30. The Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals.
What were the first two again?
Sorry,
You threw me off the Minnesota
the
Cardinals.
St. Louis Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles.
So Rams, Eagles, Vikings, Cardinals, right? Okay.
Yes.
So are they playing now?
No, he retired in 2018.
Okay, I feel like we might need the position.
Quarterback.
Okay.
Cardinals quarterback that retired. What, like just as Kyler was coming in?
Spent most of he spent the first 4 years with the Rams, and then I believe retired in 2018.
Was he drafted by the Rams?
Yes.
Sam Bradford.
Yeah, it is Sam Bradford. I put him in here solely so I thought you'd get it faster than that.
I thought it was, but then I was like, I couldn't remember him playing for the Eagles, so I was like.
Now we've got one more. There's a few more teams in this one, so just listen out. I'll try not to make any slip ups. Rams, Bengals, Bills, Titans, Texans, Jets, Buccaneers, Dolphins, Commanders.
Active?
No, retired in 2021.
There were so many teams there.
I'll give you both a clue. I mainly remember him at the Dolphins and the Bucs.
Position?
Quarterback.
Drafted by who?
Drafted by the Rams in the 7th round.
7th round pick by the Rams. It's a long career for a 7th round pick.
It is, in fact, a long career.
I mean, the fact he's been on so many teams this movie wasn't very good.
He's got good highlights.
Retired as a Buck.
Retired as a Washington football teamer.
Oh, a Washington football team.
I don't remember him being there. He went from the Buccaneers to the Dolphins.
How long was he at the Rams for?
1 year. 2005 to 2006.
What's James looking down at? Question Goblin. I think he's researching Question Goblin.
How can I research that? He's played for like 20 teams.
So look at who the Rams drafted in 2005. I don't know.
I don't know what years. I don't even know what year it was.
You just said.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I'm gonna give you another clue. I assume. This will do as a cue. He went to an Ivy League school, and I believe he's the only player from that school to ever have a successful NFL career.
Ivy League school.
Yep. I could give you a clue that would give it away, but
it's 11:30. Crack on with it. Give it away.
I don't even think it will give it away. This is the thing.
He's gone into punditry since, and he's on every week. You'll see him every week on Thursday night.
It's
big beard.
Ryan
Patrick.
Ryan
I said that first.
Yeah, that was a lot of teams. If we do that again, I won't make it that hard.
So just sort of fried my brain with how many teams.
Beard, give it away. As soon as he takes his shirt off a lot.
See, now the Ivy League thing makes more sense. I get it now.
Yeah, I think he's the only player from Harvard to ever have like a long.
Yeah, he's got to be. But that is all we have for you, I believe, this week. So thank you very much to Keir and Max for joining me. As always, please like, subscribe, and as Max says, hit
Go
the fucking
Browns!
Button. Press the hype button. Go Browns. Go
Go
Cats.
Browns!
We really hope
Go
this hype
Browns.
button is a thing when this video goes live and you've not done it.
Guys. Go. Who else? Leeds United Football Club.
Fuck
No, we're not
Falcons.
bringing that into this, mate. Yeah, thank you very much to these guys for joining me as always, and we'll see you all next week.